Hello one and all, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I was fortunate enough to go see an early screening of Joker, Folie, Deux, and I can firmly say that along with myself, the group that I was with, and the people that were in the theater, we all kind of felt the same. This film was very lackluster. It was kind of disappointing and very boring at times. Directed by Todd Phillips, I will say that I was looking forward to this movie a lot more than most, even though I had heard a lot of negative things about this going into it. I still had high hopes. I was still like, okay, well, Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, they're both amazing, and Lady Gaga's voice is phenomenal. She's a great actress. Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. The first Joker was phenomenal, like a 4.5-star movie. So you know what? This one I have faith in. Yeah, there might be some musical aspects to it or musical elements to it, but I was excited nonetheless. I'm sorry, I regret to say that Lady Gaga is not Harleen Quinzel. Nothing, none of it, nada, zilch. When I think of Harley, I don't think of Lady Gaga, I think of Margot Robbie. That's not necessarily to compare the two, but it's kind of hard not to when this movie was so lackluster. I will say the acting was absolutely amazing. The way how everybody portrayed themselves and the way how they delivered some of the lines and the craziness, especially some of the extras within the prison of Arkham Asylum, it was great. The way how the film was shot was amazing. The cinematography looked great. The camera angles were really well done. Some of the scenes that were supposed to be dark or twisted, they were really well done as well. Like the theme behind the scenes was really well done. It's just the direction of the film was all over the place. There were way too many songs. I mean, within the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, we already have about, what, 3-4 songs. None of them were catchy. They were offbeat. It was just ill-placed, and the songs went on for way too long. A lot of times that obviously you could tell that this was within his mind or her mind or just within the mind, and it just went on for far too long. So Folie Deux means madness of two. So it makes sense, you know, the madness of two, the Joker and Harley, the classic crazy couple. The romance that happened within this was just so fast. There was no build up. There were a lot of elements about this that just could have worked so much better than they did, but unfortunately the direction of this film did not take us to where we needed to go. And even as a sequel to the original Joker, I'm not really happy with it at all either. We touched on some things that happened in the previous Joker. I mean, the main things that happened in the previous Joker. This movie did not really further the agenda. This movie didn't really make me feel like, oh wow, there could be more to this, or wow, this was something that was really well established. I cannot say that about this movie because it wasn't really well done in the grand aspect of things, like with the plot and the writing itself. Like I said before, the way it was shot was great, the acting was great, the implementation of the craziness of some of the scenes and the people within those scenes was great. I can even say with Lady Gaga as Harley, she didn't even really bring out that crazy that Harley has. There was one scene, really, one scene out of the whole 2-hour movie that she did something and I was like, okay, that's Harley right there, starting to come out a little bit. Everything else, it just didn't make sense. There were scenes where things were happening and she was interacting with Arthur, and I'm like, but like this doesn't even really make any sense. Like, why are you going to these lengths already? What are we doing here? You know, it didn't really flow very well and vibe very well. Along with Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, we have Brandon Gleeson, who plays Frankie Sullivan, one of the guards at Arkham, and he is in a lot of other stuff, but something more recently that I've seen him in was The Banshees of Inisherin. We also have Catherine Keener, who plays Marianne Stewart, who is the lawyer to Arthur Fleck, also in Get Out, and many other things as well. So I loved seeing. Once I saw her, I was like, huh, I know you from something. Get Out is a phenomenal movie, and I love that movie, and I've seen it a lot more than I care to admit. But yeah, she was really good in that. Also, we have Harry Lottie, who played Harvey Dent. Now, I really love the character of Harvey Dent from the comics, the cartoons, the live action films, especially the Christopher Nolan films. But this Harvey Dent just did not sell me as Harvey Dent. All around, I am just not very impressed. That's coming from a huge DC fan, and I was really on the wagon of, wow, okay, this movie has been talked about so negatively, and this is crazy to me that The first Joker was so good, and so many people are not necessarily bashing this one, but just saying that it's really bad. It's not very well done. I was being positive, you know, Anthony and I were talking about it, and like, you know, I really want it to be good, but we've heard so many negative things, so many. An unusual amount of negative things. Going in, my head was like open headspace. Yeah, I've heard it's been bad, but you know, let's give it a chance. You know, let's have no expectations and see what happens. And lo and behold, no, just no, absolutely not. There was a point in the movie when something happens, closer to the end, something happens, and Anthony and I look at each other and we're like, are you kidding me? Did they really just do this? To be real, majority of the movie, yes, it wasn't great, but it was at least somewhat watchable. The last like 30-45 minutes of the movie, it's like, okay, bud, what are we doing here? What is happening? Todd Phillips, my man, what do you have us watching? What are you doing? What direction are you going in? Who is doing what? Because honestly, even the people I see doing something, they ain't doing nothing. So what's happening, bro? And that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry, man. Like I said earlier, the cinematography was really well done. The acting was good. The portrayal of psychotic nature by some people was really well done, and the way it was shot looked really good. And the runtime as well, there was no need for this to be over 2 hours. There was no need for it, especially with the way how the movie planned out. I don't know, man. It seemed... Thank you guys for listening to this review / rant about this movie. Much appreciated. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you can get a notification anytime there's a new... Whoa, what the fuck? If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you can get a notification anytime there's a new video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next one.